Alright, I think it's time we did something a little different, even though this is called Reviews Yesteryear. But I've been wanting to do some top 10 lists for quite a while now, so I figured why not do one based on final boss themes? Because one of the many things that people remember when it comes to final bosses is the music. And if it's done right, then it can make the battle seem more epic. But some pieces are better than others, so for my first top 10 video, I'm going to give my personal opinion on the top 10 best final boss themes in video game history. Oh, and this is kind of pointing out the obvious, but there are going to be some major spoilers in this video, so if you see a game that you didn't want spoiled, then, well, can't say I didn't warn you.
Number 10. Now, some of you may think that this theme shouldn't count because of the fact that it plays in every single boss battle, including the Joker. But I don't care. It's a kick-ass theme in a kick-ass game. It plays at the final battle. It's final boss music. Number 9. I'm a sucker for organs when it comes to video game music, and Super Mario 64 is definitely no exception. Besides the goofy looking model for Bowser, I think this piece fits really well with the dark green environment. But unfortunately that's kind of why I put it in the number 9 spot, because while it does create the atmosphere, it's not necessarily a catchy tune that you can hum along with, and that's kind of what I look for when it comes to final boss music. Number 8. Now this is some threatening music. You first think you've defeated Mother Brain, but then as this theme is playing, she slowly rises up with a cybernetic body that she didn't have before. And just to toy with you even more, she throws a rainbow of death at you, inflicting a tremendous amount of damage. This is a theme that immediately tells you you're screwed, and there's nothing you can do about it. Well, until you get the Hyper Beam anyway. Damn you, Mother Brain! Number 7. Okay, I know this isn't actually the final boss, but Ganon is technically Ganondorf in beast form, so I can somewhat get away with this piece. I mean, the theme that plays when you're fighting Ganon is okay, but like Super Mario 64, it's more or less made for atmosphere, and it's not very memorable. The battle against Ganondorf, however, is far more catchy and absolutely blood-pumping, which is saying a lot considering that all you need to do is play tennis with him using weapons. Number 6. Look at that, another Mario game. Now you might be wondering why I'm using the All-Stars version of this song and not the 8-bit original. Well, simply because I kinda prefer the more silent drum beats so I can hear the melody clearer. I do like the original version as well, but if I had to choose, I would definitely go for the Super Nintendo remix. Number 5. Oh yeah, now we're getting into the really good ones. To be completely honest with you, I usually hate Sega music with a passion. The Sonic CD not only gave me a song I could actually tolerate, but one I would hum along to many times after I've heard it. Only problem with it? Unless you buy the Christian Whitehead remake, you need to get a Japanese Sega CD in order to listen to it. Number 4. If you can somehow last more than 30 seconds without wiping the floor with Bowser, then take the time to listen to the song and see what you think. Modern games usually go for pieces that more or less tell you how you're supposed to be feeling, but they're never really songs that you would sing along to while you're walking down the street. Mario Galaxy 2 says forget these newer games, it gives us an incredible orchestrated theme that unfortunately, like I said, you won't hear for very long. My god, Bowser, will you ever be a challenge? Number 3. That is one awesome introduction. Just think as if you didn't know you had to fight 3 bosses before this, and it just suddenly drops you right in front of an enlarged Kefka demon. You really have to know the character to be this excited about the fight, but trust me when I say that this is some of the best build-up I've ever seen in a video game. Problem is though, it's a 17-minute piece. You see, the theme that's playing right now is actually the last third of the song, and that's because each of the bosses that come before Kefka have their own theme, and it's looped once to create the 17 minutes. And they all sound great, but even though it's an incredible song altogether, when it comes to music, I'd rather have a song that would just come in, play their music, and get out. Dancing Mad for me just kind of overstays its welcome at times. It's more or less a song that's best to listen while you're playing the game rather than outside the game. Number 2. Talk about catchy. The second I heard this song, I knew I was gonna love it. Great pace, upbeat, and kudos for just being a great song altogether. That's kind of all I can say about it. And my number 1 final boss theme of all time is... Final Fantasy VII may not be my favorite game of all time, but my god is this good. The first time I got to this part, it was an amazing experience. I knew that the huge mutated Sephiroth wasn't the final boss, but what I didn't expect was having to fight him again immediately afterwards, with what I personally think is one of the coolest looking backgrounds out of all the Final Fantasy games I've played. Right on par with the one where you're fighting Kefka. Both Sephiroth's introduction and Kefka's introduction are astonishing. I love how One Winged Angel starts playing with you see nothing but black on the screen, and the way it fades into the battle with Sephiroth slowly descending is breathtaking. I mean, this is a song supporting a guy with a few rings floating on his back and a deformed right arm with 6 tentacles on his lower body. It doesn't make much sense to me, but I don't care. This theme makes all the bad go away. Well, except for Sephiroth's stupid supernova attack with the world's longest build-up. Even if you don't like the game, there is no denying and saying that this is a fantastic final boss theme. This is a song I will never get sick of, and this is a song that is, to me, the best final boss theme ever made. The only problem? It's the best final boss theme ever made! How many times has this been reused and remixed for future Square products? Advent Children has it, Kingdom Hearts has it, hell I wouldn't be surprised if the Tomb Raider reboot has it. That's not saying the remixes are bad, but they just don't live up quite as well as the original. The Kingdom Hearts version in particular, because I feel that there are too many instruments playing all at once and it just doesn't have quite the same effect. But anyway, this theme is terrific, and I recommend that you take the time to listen to it. You don't even have to play Final Fantasy VII to notice the true genius of Nobuo Uematsu.